Hi, and welcome to cookingwithchriswall.com, and also welcome to my channel here, Caribbean Delights and Chris Wall on YouTube. Today I'm going to do for you a special seasoned rice. It's a yellow seasoned rice, and it's a very simple recipe, and sometimes you want something different from just the plain white rice or the peas and rice. So I'll just do something with a little color and brighten up the season for a little bit. Some yellow seasoned rice. Here we go. Well, right here, the ingredients you'll need. You'll first need some saffron. It's pretty expensive commodity, but just a little goes a long way, and that's gonna enhance the color of the rice very well. You need a quarter cup of onions, a quarter cup of cilantro, chopped cilantro, chopped spring onions, sprigs of thyme. I'll just use the thyme with the stalk and everything to get the maximum flavor. 2 teaspoons of garlic minced, and 1 tomato just chopped up. And I also will add here turmeric, fresh turmeric. Fresh turmeric has lots of qualities to it. It's an antioxidant, it's anti-inflammatory. So I love to use fresh turmeric whenever I can. And this is going to also enhance the color of the rice. And I'll be cooking the rice in some chicken broth along with a little bit of water. You'll also need some chicken bouillon powder. The chicken bouillon powder that I love to use. And that would be my salt element for this rice. So here we go, and obviously you have your rice. Now your rice, I have like 3 cups of rice here, and I always advise people to wash your rice thoroughly. You wash it like 4 or 5 times if possible, until the water becomes clear and you can see the rice. If you put water in there, you can see the rice clearly through the water. And get rid of all that starch that's sprayed on, and get rid of all that sprayed on starch and vitamins or whatever they say they spray onto it. But your rice will cook perfectly well. It would not stick together if you get rid of all that. So I have 3 cups of rice here, washed and ready to go. So in the first thing I have my oil heated. And in here I have put a quarter stick of butter and the bullion powder. So that's good. That's heating right there. So right now I'm going to add my onions and my other seasonings. So I go in with the garlic, and then I go in with the onions. And here, the cilantro. We just put them all in together. The green onions. The sprigs of thyme. The tomato. And the turmeric, the fresh turmeric. So we're going to give this a stir, just to get it all together there, coated with the oil, and I let it start doing what it's supposed to do. Start flavoring the oil and seasoning the oil, and we'll let that cook for at least 2 minutes. I'll be back. Okay, we're back. Now that this is cooked for a couple of minutes and everything, the onions are cooked through, and the tomatoes and everything is all well incorporated in there, we'll add now the rice to it. So let's add the rice, and then let's incorporate the rice into the mixture. Let's get it all in there, and then we'll stir to coat. You stir this up, and as you can see, I'm already getting a color here. This is from the turmeric. The turmeric is already giving it its color. So I'll incorporate that rice, and then we'll come back to the next step. So here we are, guys. Mixing this rice into the seasonings, the herbs that I put in there, and just getting it all incorporated and getting the rice to be coated with the oil, the seasoned oil. And now once this is all incorporated, and you see it's all seasoned, all covered, the rice grains are all covered, we'll now put our chicken broth in. The chicken broth. That's one can of chicken broth. You will need some more liquid in here for the amount of rice you have. So it's usually, I'll usually use at least 2 cups or one and a half cans of chicken broth. And now, once the chicken broth is in there, make sure it's covered, the rice is covered. We'll do the saffron. The saffron, just a little goes a long way. And you'll see maybe just a quarter of a teaspoon, or maybe half a teaspoon. Don't go crazy with it, because it colors it very good once it starts heating up and covering, and once it starts heating up and getting into the liquid, it infuses the liquid with the color. So right here, we're going to move our heat down to up to medium, and just let this come to a boil, and then we'll reduce it to a simmer. We just want it to come to a boil, and then we'll reduce it to a simmer, and we'll go from there. We'll take the next step. One other tip, guys. When I usually do rice, especially a seasoned rice or cook up rice, or any rice that has like peas and rice, I always finish it in the oven, and it finishes exceedingly well because it cooks evenly around the pot, and everything just cooks at the same time. Instead of being on the stove, the bottom is cooking and the top is not cooking. You have to stir. So always preheat your oven. If you're going to do a seasoned rice, or if you're going to do any rice and peas or anything, preheat your oven to 350 and have it ready. So once the water is subsided from the pot that you're using, and you can see the top of the rice, that's when you put it in the oven. You just put it in the oven, and with whatever water is left in there, it will steam and it will cook evenly, and it will be a fantastic dish. So here we go. And here we are, guys. As I was saying earlier, when the water subsides from the top of the pot, you give it a stir. You give it a stir and have your oven ready at 350 degrees, and you'll just pop the cover on there. Pop the cover on. Turn your oven out, your stove off, and into the oven for 15 to 20 minutes. Probably take about 20 minutes, and you can check it after that, and you'll see it would be a wonderful fluffy rice dish. So we'll come back and check the oven. It's awesome. All the seasonings are there, on point, salt perfection.